I desperately want to support that legislation. I would like to ask first, and most importantly, if anyone has the information as to whether or not the CEOs of Wells Fargo or Bank of America or Goldman Sachs or Citigroup have taken private jets in the last month. Has anyone asked the CEOs of Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, all of these financial companies to take a cut in compensation? Has anyone asked about their workers and how much money they make, and whether or not they're overpaid, and whether or not they're competitive with the salaries of community bankers across the country? Every one of the institutions I named have gotten $15 billion or more of taxpayer money. Now think about that for a minute. Every one of those institutions has gotten, Citigroup has gotten $50 billion. Have we checked on their private jets? Have we checked on their CEO compensation? Have we checked on their work rules and whether or not their workers are given enough flexibility? It is unbelievable to me that we are setting this double standard. The thousands of jobs and families that build great American cars don't deserve this incredible hypocrisy in terms of the different treatment they're getting. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I say let's call those CEOs in of those big companies that have gotten more than $15 billion of our money and ask them when they're going to take $1 in pay. Ask them if they got here on a corporate jet. Ask them if their workers have cut their pay to $14 an hour. Ask if they've talked about cutting their pension costs and their health care costs. Until we do that, we ought to be quiet about the American auto workers. And we ought to be quiet about these companies that have reduced fixed costs, that have agreed to sell corporate jets, that have agreed to cut executive compensation. I really want to support this bill on behalf of manufacturing in the United States of America, on behalf of wonderful, hardworking families in Missouri. However, there is one problem that has arisen, and that is, unfortunately, in this bill right now, as written, is a provision to increase the pay of federal judges. Wrong time, wrong place. We got unemployment numbers today that we have the highest unemployment in this country that we've had in decades. We have families all over this nation that are scared today, that aren't buying Christmas presents. Federal judges get lifetime appointments and they never take a dime's cut in pay. They die with the same salary they have today. And my phone's ringing off the hook, Mr. President, from people who want to be federal judges. I'm having to have staff work overtime to handle all the phone calls I'm getting from people who think there may be a federal judge opening in the Eastern District of Missouri, and how badly accomplished, wonderful, smart lawyers want that federal appointment. We are not hurting for qualified applicants for the federal judiciary. Is it fair that they haven't gotten a cost of living increase like every other federal employee? Probably not. But you know what's a lot more unfair? What's a lot more unfair is to give somebody with a lifetime appointment great health care, no cut in pay when they actually retire. What's really unfair, Mr. President, is to give them a pay raise on this day, in this bill, at this time. It's not the right time. And if it's in the bill, I regrettably would have to vote against this piece of legislation because I feel so strongly that it sends the wrong message to the United States of America at this scary moment in our economic history.